Dontario Drummond is the last guy for the Boss Cowboy God. Well, as y'all know, we've been covering all these guys for the Dallas Cowboys, and whenever I write the book on a Boss Cowboy God, I write it on prospects that likely fit the Dallas Cowboys. And this was a good year because this year I had more people from the Boss Cowboy God make the actual draft. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 7. So, and I've done videos pretty much on most of the guys already, and we gonna do more videos. But Tyler made the God. Obviously, Clark made the guy. Sam Williams made the guy. Ferguson was one of my top guys in the guy. Then I was very proud of the Jalen Tolbert. And because I usually don't put the small school guys in there, but he made it and they drafted him. So, that makes me feel good about, getting better at spotting candidates that fit us. I'm learning Mike McCarthy, learning Will McClay, Stephen Jones, and it's reflecting. So getting into Drummond, he's interesting. So one thing about him is he definitely plays faster than what he appears. When you look at his measurements, he didn't come across fast. Sometimes people have bad testing, but they're fast. And you could also see when you turn on the film that he's an athlete that they like to use in space. And actually, and I'm gonna talk about this more, but the way that they used him at Ole Miss is how I would actually want us to use Pollard in the even Z, where you can see, because you don't see a speed problem when you turn on the film. You don't see 4.6 when you turn on the film. You see more 4.5, 4.4. That's what the eye test says, but the clock says he's a 4.6. But you'll see that a majority of the time they throw in a lot of flare routes to him, where they're trying to get him in space and they're trying to get him on the edge. That's very creative and a way to kind of artificially run the ball. So his production is deceptive, because as you watch his production, you'll see sometimes a lot of catches in certain games, but keep in mind, a lot of these catches are flares, or you can see that he's mostly catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage. That's because they trying to put him in space and they trying to use him as an athlete with a lot of screens, flare routes, and stuff like that. But he is a good football player. That's why he made the God, because one of the things that I like about him is he is very quick. That's why they're trying to give him the ball a lot in space. He makes guys miss very well. That's another reason they try to use him in space. He's almost like a smaller version of Bell when Bell was in his prime in Pittsburgh, because they used to say the same thing about Bell. They would look at Bell production, and when they would talk about his production, they would say, look at the amount of catches that Bell has. He could be a receiver. He has so many catches. But when you actually go break down the film, you'll see that they was never hardly using him downfield like people was embellishing and pretending they was doing with Bell. They was using him on a lot of design leak outs, screens, similar to how they use Drummond. But Drummond is an asset for the Cowboys and could be a very good two-way player, especially in the slot. Let me go back to his film and we'll look at him a little bit more, because I want to show you his sticks. So as we continue to look at him, and I was saying using him in space is another way that I would want them to use Pollard. It works. You can even see they using him in the backfield to leak him out. They try to get real creative to get the ball in his hands. And to me, that's what you do with football players. The people like Patterson, the people like Pollard, the people like Debo Samuels, like those types. So you get those guys in space, they gonna make plays just because they in space. They good football players. So the Debos, the Pattersons, the Pollards, that's what you do. the Drummonds. You take those football players and you get them the ball in all kind of creative ways. But when you watch him, we finally getting ready to get down to him being a receiver. You go see he has good sticks. It's coming, but as you can see, a majority of these plays was balls caught behind the line of scrimmage because they are creatively trying to get him the ball. And that's what you do with guys that can get you 5 and 6 yards every time they touch the ball. So when I talked about sticks, I want you to look at his feet because that's what I'm talking about. How he plants and he's able to easily get it in and out of his routes in any direction. He has good feet. That's what we call sticks. So he can stick you and get separation with his feet. I don't care what his 40 is. All I know is every time he's sticking balls, you're seeing about 2 yards worth of separation. So I see a real good athlete. I see a good football player. I see a guy that could come in and be the Cole Beasley type, the third down assassin, to somebody that can really abuse people with slower feet and dangerous in space. Obviously, he's not Debo Samuels, but he's a mini version type. If I was to kind of break his game down or why he made the guide, he's not small. He's not big, but he's not small. 6'1" and 215. That's good size. I also targeted him in the draft around the 5th or 6th round. So us obviously getting him as a free agent, that's a pretty good deal. And then what I actually said about him in the Boss Cowboy Guide, I said Dontario Drummond has the body style and route running of the former Dallas Cowboys. Let me go back. Kevin Williams. Drummond is very subtle in routes, but fundamental and explosive out his breaks. Drummond has good composure and good hands that are impressive. So I really do see him as an asset. I see him as somebody that could come in as an undrafted free agent and maybe be like Turner was, because Turner, whenever he got his opportunity, he made plays. Some of these guys, they just need opportunities. He's going to have an opportunity because Gallup is obviously hurt. And then it's going to be a lot of competition for the number 3 and number 4 receiver. He got a chance, but it's going to be up to him. And he's going to have to do a lot more than the flare routes that he was doing. He's going to have to show a lot more downfield action to get more time, especially with Kellen Moore, because Kellen Moore is not going to do like Ole Miss and design schemes for you. They're not going to do that. You will have to fit into Kellen Moore's system. So anyway, yeah, y'all make sure y'all continue to support Boss Cowboy Sports. And before you leave, make sure you hit that like button. That's real important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, because we're going to be breaking down a whole lot of, obviously, the undrafted free agents. We still doing a lot of the people that we drafted, and we're going to be doing a lot of film breakdowns on our former players and current players. And we're going to be really going heavy into it. That's the best way to really break down and prepare for training camp. So y'all stay with us. We're going to be doing this a lot more here at Boss Cowboy Sports. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and you going to get more of this content. Until then, y'all stay up. Peace.